So we're going to be working on the basics of this cup, and this is what our finished product is going to look like. So the first thing that we need to do is we're going to need to sand and prep our tumbler. So I went ahead and sanded it and wiped it down with 91% rubbing alcohol. There are parts of this video that I did not record, and now that I didn't record it, it feels incomplete. So for our cup, I use this. This is something I got from Amazon, and you put it in the mouth of your cup, and it helps from any kind of paint getting on the inside of your cup. Now the colors that I used, I did this is wildflower blue and hammered copper, and we are just going to kind of try to ombre this paint. So I'm going with the blue on the top, and we're going to use the hammered copper on the bottom. And we're just going to make sure that we get a good coat of this. Later on in the video, I do some other spray painting, but I did not record that. And that part makes me feel like I didn't complete the video. So in the future, I will record everything. So once we have this spray painted and we let it dry, we're going to go in with our Aleene's stick and restick, also known as tack it over and over. And this is Glitter Chimp Breakfast at Tiffany's. And we're also going to use our Glitter Chimp Cheyanne. And this actually came in a brown glitter kit. So there was multiple browns with it. So here I am opening my bags. I transferred everything to bags because these bags are static free. So we're going to go in with our glue, and we are just going to put a good thick heavy coat all the way around this tumbler, top and bottom. And once we get that glue on and it's good thick coat, we're actually going to use our heat gun, and we're going to go ahead and dry this glue that's on here. You can see here, I feel like there's spots that I'm missing. And it doesn't really matter if you've got streaks in this, because once it dries, you're never going to see the streaks. The main thing is make sure you have this fully covered with glue. You can see I'm not happy with it right here around the ridge of this cup. So I'm pulling that glue from the bottom and trying to cover in that ridge. Now that we have it on to where we like it, we're going to go ahead and use this heat gun, and we're going to dry this glue instead of having to wait 30-40 minutes for all of this to dry. Now once that's dried, we're going to go ahead and start with our glitter. And this is just a piece of parchment paper. And this is our breakfast at Tiffany's. We're going to put this around the top. And I'm holding this at about a 45-degree angle so it'll cascade down towards that copper color. All you're doing is looking to get a real good coverage with this all the way around. And you can see laying this down to get that glitter up closer to the top without, I'm trying not to get it in the cup itself. So that's why I'm tilting it with the butt of the cup up in the air. So this is what our cup is looking like so far. Now we're going to switch out. We're going to push this paper back to the back because we're actually going to go back and forth between the glitters. And to eliminate a lot of time, I did not record this whole process. So we're just going to push this to the back, and we're going to bring our next piece of paper up, and we're going to use the Cheyanne color, which I think is a good copperish color. And you see on the top right of that bag, I've got a piece of double-sided sticky tape and put just a minute amount of each glitter on the corner of this bag so I can see what it looks like. So here we're just going to drop our glitter on this cup, and we're going to hold it at about a 45-degree angle with the butt of the cup up in the air so that this glitter will cascade down towards the blue. And if some of this gets into the blue and sticks in the blue, that's perfectly fine, because we're ultimately going for a ombre look. So we're going to go back and forth between the blue and this Cheyanne. To get the bottom, I'm just putting the bottom of the cup into the fall off, and we're going to press it down. And then we are going to dump our colors back into our bag, and then we'll do a final bump of the cup to get any of that loose glitter off of the cup. Now, once I did this, I actually carried it outside and spray painted a clear coat over it so none of that glitter shifted on me. And then I come in and I do a coat of this Tumblers coating epoxy and really seal this glitter in. So we just mix it up as usual. It's 1-to-1 ratio, and we are going to put it on, pushing the epoxy from the bottom of the cup to the top so that we have less fall off into the cup that we have to clean up. And once we get this, once we get a good coat of this epoxy on, we're going to go ahead and torch our cup and pop any of those micro bubbles that is going to be in the epoxy from us mixing it, from us putting it on, lifting our finger and dragging again. So that will cause bubbles as well. And then we're going to carry it out. Once this dries, I carry it out and I spray paint a very light coat of white, then a brown coat, and top it off with a white coat. And once all that dries, we're coming in with a rag and 91% rubbing alcohol, and we're just going to remove portions of this paint. This is the part that I said that I wished I had recorded, and that was putting this paint on. Now the colors, the white is just a standard white, and the brown I got from some dollar store that didn't even have the name of the brown on it. So I wouldn't even begin to tell you what the color was. We're just going to go around this cup and randomly remove some of this paint and peekaboo that glitter that is up underneath the layers of paint. Now the reason why I did a very light coat of white underneath the brown is to give it a little more distinction, especially when it comes to down around this hammered copper color, or the Cheyanne colored glitter. The brown was so close to that colored glitter that I wanted that little white base coat to help separate the brown from the glitter. And here, like I said, we're just going to go around and use this 91% rubbing alcohol and remove some of this paint. Now, if you want to speed up the process, you could use paint remover, acetone, but I prefer to use the rubbing alcohol. That way I don't break down that epoxy as much as if I had used acetone. You can kind of see here, you can kind of see the brown paint again, and it's somewhat close to the brown or the coppery color of this paint. And that's the reason why or the glitter, I'm sorry. And that's the reason why I went ahead and used that very light coat of white up underneath the brown. Now what we're doing here is we're just distressing this paint so that you can see the glitter up underneath it. And I'm not too worried about the brown that is around the edges of the paint, because we're gonna, or where we're removing this paint, because we're gonna go in and clean it up here. So we're just putting a little bit of alcohol on here, and we're gonna clean up all the white. Once we get this cleaned up, I didn't record because we always see so much of the applying the epoxy and stuff. So once we clean this up, I let this dry and I put 2 more coats of the Tumbler epoxy coating on this and let that cure. I used about 30 milliliters each and did two um, 2 layers of the epoxy. And like I said, there's some things that we just see over and over. So I didn't record that, and I wished I had, because then I feel like I have more of a completed video. So if y'all want me to do this again and go more in depth, please drop me a comment below. These glitters, I have everything that I used on this, I'm leaving in the description. And there's also a discount code at Glitter Chimp that I'm leaving in the comment or in the description. So if you like these glitters, go over there to Glitter Chimp, check them out, and you can use my discount code and save 10% off of your entire order. I have some really nice stuff over there, so consider checking them out. Now you can do extra things to this. I put the epoxy on, and I haven't decided exactly what design I'm going to put on here yet, so I'm leaving this cup looking like this for now. So if y'all like this, please consider giving me a thumbs up, liking and subscribing. Consider sharing it with your friends. And if you want me to go more in depth, just let me know, and we'll either do another cup just like this, or different colors, whichever you would prefer. This is with a water slide. If you put a water slide on your tumbler, you have to go in with another coat. If you want to do like a instant transfer, slap that instant transfer on and you're done. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and until next time, keep crafting. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.